Now, a final line of questioning here, because I know that time is short, is specifically about the accusation that this is apology for genocide. I've heard that when people
Oh,
ask you about this and they say the genocide of the Canaanites, you don't like that description, to put it lightly, of what happened here. But I'll tell you why I think it might be a suitable descriptor here. Okay, because the language of the Hebrew Bible is quite extreme in saying
yes,
that we should be destroying them completely and leaving nothing alive that breathes. Now, you have pointed out that God actually does say to drive them out. And
right,
it does seem that after these military campaigns, there are still Canaanites who are alive. But yet,
right.
it does seem to me that, for instance, on the issue of driving out, well, if we look first at Deuteronomy, where God says, however, in the cities of the nations the Lord your God is giving to you as an inheritance, do not leave alive anything that breathes. Completely destroy them. And then it lists a number of peoples, including the Canaanites, as the Lord your God has commanded you. Otherwise, they teach you to follow detestable things, and so on. It says, do not leave alive anything that breathes. Destroy them completely. Now, it may be that the Israelites failed to do so, but it seems like the commandment is clear. Now, where it says to chase them out, we have in Joshua chapter 8, when Israel had finished killing all the men of Ai in the fields and in the wilderness where they had chased them, and when every one of them had been put to the sword, all of the Israelites returned to Ai and killed those who were in it. 12,000 men and women fell that day, all the people of Ai. So it seems here that, yes, they were chased out, but the Israelites then chased after them once they had been removed from the city, killed them out in the wilderness, turned around, came back, killed everyone else who was left in the city. And who would that have been? It would have been the women, the children, the disabled, etc. So it seems to me that even if we have, God saying that you just need to chase them out, and even if, they don't end up in practice all being killed, it still seems like this could be described as at least an attempted genocide against the Canaanites.
Well, I don't think it is an attempted genocide because if they would flee and leave the land, the judgment of God would be accomplished and satisfied. As I say, the judgment was to destroy these petty kingdoms as nation states by divesting them of the land, and the land was being given over to Israel. It wasn't important that all of these people be exterminated because of their race or ethnicity. That wasn't the point. Rather, it was that none of them were to be left in the land. The land was to be cleansed of these people by driving them all out or killing those who remain behind. The point was that there were to be none of these Canaanites left in the land.
But in the case of Ai, it seems at least implied here that even after chasing them out, that they've been chased out into the field and in the wilderness where they had chased them, it says, and every one of
Yes,
them
that's
had been
very
put to the
interesting.
sword. And so it seems to me
Yeah.
that you've kind of got chasing these people out of the land and then chasing after them and killing them and then coming back to kill everybody else.
Yeah, I take it that this was the aftermath of a battle, and that they pursued the retreating forces and destroyed them. So this was a part of a resistance movement on the part of these Canaanite peoples, and the aftermath of a battle.
I guess it seems to me like if a moment ago you say, well, they didn't have to die because they were given the opportunity to leave.
Right.
And here's an instance where, well, they do leave, but they get killed anyway.
Well, yeah, but only after being in a pitched battle against the forces of Israel. And so they went after the retreating armies to eliminate that. That's very different than uh, people seeing the Israeli forces advancing and vacating the cities and uh, leaving the land. If they did that, nobody had to die. So they were to cleanse the land of these people by either driving them out or exterminating those who were still trying to stay.
So you, Dr. Craig, are a
Yes.
Canaanite. You wake up and you find yourself in
Yeah.
the land, and through essentially accident of birth, you've been born into a community that has raised you to have quite immoral tendencies and practices. You're surrounded by all kinds of sin, and you engage in it yourself. A
Right.
foreign,
Yeah. Don't make me sound like an innocent victim. If I'm one of them, I am an incredibly evil and reprobate person.
I suppose there's a whole other question which we don't have time to go into about the fact that being born into such a society might be a little unfair if it almost necessitates you become an immoral person. But the question I wanted to ask is, suppose you are such a person, right? A foreign nation is approaching with their swords, and they say to you, leave this land or we're going to put you to the sword. My question to you is, are you justified? Is it justified for you to fight back?
I mean, ultimately, it's not justified because it would be transgressing a divine command, and therefore wouldn't be justified. But I could well understand again how epistemically one might feel justified in resisting this foreign army. Though I hope that if I were in such a condition, I would have the good sense to get out.
To watch the full conversation, click the link that's on your screen. Subscribe to my main channel or this clip's channel by clicking just below it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.